You're sitting on the couch, thumb hovering over the screen, and you tell yourself, just one more video before I get up and start my to-do list. But 4 hours later, you're still in the exact same spot. The room is dark, and you honestly couldn't tell me what you just watched. You aren't lazy, and you aren't lacking willpower. You're just operating inside an infinite scroll trap that was engineered to override your brain's ability to make rational decisions. TikTok isn't an app. It's a digital slot machine in your pocket. And the reason you can't look away isn't because the content is good. It's because the mechanism is specifically designed to keep you hunting. Think about the last time you went to a casino. If the slot machines paid out a tiny bit of money every single time you pulled the lever, you'd get bored, realize the math doesn't add up, and eventually walk away. But that's not how they work. They use what psychologists call variable ratio reinforcement. Sometimes you win a nickel, sometimes you win $1, and sometimes you lose everything. It's that exact unpredictability, that maybe the next one will be the big one, that keeps you tethered to the machine. TikTok does the exact same thing with your dopamine receptors. You scroll, you see a boring cooking video, you scroll again, you see a depressing news clip, and then, suddenly, a video hits your specific interests perfectly. That's the win. Your brain gets a chemical spike, and now you're hooked because you need to scroll to find that hit again. It's an ancient survival instinct gone rogue. Biologically, you are a scavenger. Your ancestors spent their days foraging for resources, scanning the horizon for food or shelter. When they found something, their brain rewarded them with a hit of dopamine to reinforce the behavior. Today, your brain still thinks it's foraging, but instead of berries, it's hunting for content. Every swipe is you casting a line into a river, hoping for a bite. If every video were great, you'd be satisfied, but because the feed is randomized, you keep hunting. You aren't watching for entertainment anymore, you're scrolling to scratch that neurological itch. You are effectively paying for the privilege of being the product, because every second you stay in that loop, you are feeding data to an algorithm that sells your attention to the highest bidder. And that brings us to the real cost here, which isn't just the time, it's the illusion of competence. We've all felt it. You spend an hour watching life hacks or financial tips on your feed, and you walk away feeling like you actually accomplished something. You feel smarter. You feel like you're researching or staying on top of trends, but you aren't. You're just drowning in noise. You're consuming surface-level information that slips out of your brain the moment the next clip plays. It's a junk food diet for your cognitive function. You aren't building a skill set, you're just filling the silence in your head so you don't have to face the friction of actually doing the hard work of your day. It feels productive, but it's the exact opposite. It's a way to kill your own ambition while convincing yourself you're preparing for a breakthrough. But here is the hard truth that most people refuse to accept. You are not going to win against an AI designed by the best engineers in the world. You think you can just watch for 5 minutes, but you are playing a game of chess against a supercomputer that has millions of data points on exactly what triggers you. It knows your boredom threshold, it knows your political leaning, and it knows exactly how long to hold you before you're about to close the app so it can serve you a high dopamine clip to keep you trapped for another hour. Believing you can control your usage while the app is still on your phone is like trying to stay on a diet by keeping a bowl of candy on your nightstand. It's not a test of your character, it's a test you were never designed to pass. If you actually want to take your time back, you have to stop relying on willpower and start designing your environment to make the trap impossible to fall into. The most effective move isn't to tell yourself you'll scroll less, it's to make the act of scrolling so inconvenient that it's not worth the effort. Think of it like a refrigerator full of junk food. If you're hungry at 2 a.m., you're going to eat the cake that's sitting on the middle shelf. The only way to stop is to stop buying the cake or throw it in the trash. Start by removing the app from your home screen. Don't delete your account if you don't want to, but hide the icon in a folder deep in your phone's library so you have to intentionally search for it every time you want to open it. That simple 2-second friction gap, the time it takes to search for the app, is often enough to break the trance. Or go one step further and set your phone to grayscale mode. When your screen is just black and white, the vibrant, high-contrast colors that make the content so stimulating suddenly look dull. It makes the app look like a boring spreadsheet, which is exactly how your brain should perceive it. You need to switch from a passive consumption mode to a purposeful searching. If you need to look up a recipe or a specific fix for your sink, open the app, find exactly what you need, and close it immediately. If you catch yourself opening the app just to see what's on, you've already lost. Use the one-touch rule this week. Every time your finger moves to tap that icon, force yourself to say out loud exactly what you are looking for. If you can't name a specific reason, you don't open the app, period. Test this out. Keep your phone in a drawer or another room for the first hour after you wake up and the hour before you go to bed. Those are the times your brain is most vulnerable to the slot machine effect. If you can protect those 2 windows, you'll find that your ability to focus on your real goals, the ones that actually move the needle on your life, starts to come back. This is the trap. You think you're scrolling to relax, but you're actually scrolling to avoid the reality that your time is being systematically harvested. So I have to ask, if you looked at your screen time report right now and saw how many hours you spent foraging this week, what would you have actually done with that time if you had it back?